Hi, in this demo I will show you how to set up reverse ETL in Peliqan. In my demo I will sync data from Pipedrive, my CRM, into Odoo, my ERP system. So first of all I added a connection to both systems, which means the data is already available in the built-in data warehouse. I will actually sync both companies and contacts from my source, Pipedrive, into Odoo. Now I could use these tables directly as a source, but we will need an extra field in Odoo, which is called isCompany. It's a field on the partner, and for that reason I added two queries. One which actually selects all of my companies in my source, Pipedrive, but we add an extra column which is called isCompany, and the value is always true. And I did the same for contacts. So again, I select all of the columns from my source, from Pipedrive, and I add the same column, but this time for contacts, isCompany will be false. So this is a static value that I will use in the source and map into the target Odoo. Okay, let's first of all install the Reverse ETL app. For that we go to the build section in Peliqan, we find the app and we install it in our account. I will also bookmark it to my homepage so that I can easily find it. Let's go back to the homepage and let's open the Reverse ETL app. I'm going to add two syncs, one for companies and a second one for contacts. And so the top one will be done first, which is important because these are the parent records, as contacts will be linked to a company. So we need to make sure we do companies first. As the source, we will select Pipedrive. And I could select a table, but remember I wrote that source query. So that's the one that I will use. And the primary key is ID. The target will be Odoo. We're going to sync into the partner object, and this will automatically select the partner table. We're not actually writing into the table, we're going to write directly into Odoo, but this table in the data warehouse is used for lookups to see which fields are actually available when writing into Odoo. Okay, let's do the field mapping. First of all, we're going to write the name from the source, in the target. We'll also add address of the company, which will go into the email field. And then remember, we need that company field in Odoo. And it will be a static value. And I added it with the same name in my source query, isCompany. Okay, now I can do the same for contacts. So my source is again Pipedrive. This time contacts, also ID as the primary field, and the target is actually the same, so we're also going to write into partners and we'll do the field mapping. Again, to name, email for example, will go into the email field. And we will add again isCompany, which is also available in the source. And in this source query, the value will always be false. Okay, now we can start testing our syncs. So first of all, I'll do companies, I'll go to data, and I will do a manual sync of one record. So I'll just choose one of my companies from Pipedrive and I will sync it into Odoo. Okay, that has worked. Let's do another one. Let's see if we're getting any errors. We're not getting any errors, so that worked fine. Actually, I forgot for contacts to configure the parent relation. And that's the reason why I sync my companies first, because contacts are linked to a parent company. It's a foreign key, and so you have to configure them under relations. So the contacts are linked to companies, The field, the foreign key, is the org ID, and that goes into the parent ID in Odoo. Okay, so now we can test this as well. So I'll just choose one of my contacts from Pipedrive and I'll sync it into Odoo. And let's see if there are any errors. No, there are not, so that's great. Actually, I can quickly have a look in Odoo. Let me refresh here. And here we can see the 3 records that were synced. 2 companies and then a contact, which is an individual. Is companies false? It's a person, and it's linked to the company, the parent. So you can see that that foreign key relation was also added in Odoo. Everything is working fine, which means that now I can actually set a schedule. So this will run on, for example, an hourly or a daily basis. I'll make sure to make this an incremental sync, which means that on each run it will only process new and updated records from the source based on a timestamp field. And in the Peliqan data warehouse, that's always this field, which is already pre-selected. So I'll do the same for companies, and I'll make sure there is an incremental data sync. And the sync mode, I can leave that as is. It will do inserts and updates. Okay, so now I need to go back into my apps, into the Reverse ETL app, and here I can set a schedule to run, for example, every hour. So now that that's done, it will actually run in the background every hour, and it will sync new data. Now, you can always go back into the app to see the status. I also wanted to mention that the app automatically creates link tables, and these link tables are used by the app, so it knows what has already been processed. And in the link table you will find for each object type, companies and contacts, you will find the source ID, the target ID, whether or not the sync was successful, if there were any errors, and also the timestamp of the initial sync and the most recent sync of that object. Thanks for watching.